Number 10. What happens when you take a legendary strategy series like XCOM and turn it into a first-person shooter? You get a lot of pissed off nerds, that's what.
Hey, you're Joe! Angry Joe! Oh.
Yeah!
Hey Joe man, are we ready for the interview?
But yeah, we're ready for the interview, let's go!
Despite the volatile reaction, 2K Marin is pressing on to try to take the XCOM into a genre where it's failed before. The studio behind the excellent and thematic BioShock series are working hard to keep the core elements of the original game and combine them with a new, more up-close experience.
And we haven't lost the strategy element. The strategy element is key to the game. So there's a very strong strategy game there.
Details of this game are still scarce, and the only date we have so far is 2011. If this XCOM allows players to name their agents, base build, and defend their headquarters against alien invasions as in the original, I think XCOM will be just fine. Especially if they consider allowing multiplayer for the detectives you bring along with you. Just be careful, Marin, because if you don't deliver, we could have a full-blown uprising on our hands.
Betrayal! Betrayal! It has nothing to do with XCOM. Nothing! Nothing!
Number 9. Michael Jackson Connect. Dance Central 2. Any dance game, really. Any dance game for Connect, be it Michael Jackson, which releases on April the 15th, or a sequel to Dance Central. I bought the damn thing as a dancing peripheral for me and my buddies, so I expect at least one decent dance game from someone every year. Michael Jackson on the Wii was a huge disappointment for me, and to be honest, I'm not feeling much better about MJ on the Kinect. Why is there all this sparkly crap in front of my image and avatar? Can I just dance instead of being forced to sing and dance? Trust me when I say no one wants to be put through my singing. I feel like they only have one chance to get it right. I doubt there'll be an MJ2, and I hope to God there's more to this game than what's been shown. A recent email survey might hint at possible new features for Dance Central 2, though. From the ability to create custom dances, play as backup dancers, and there's even been hints to new game modes like fitness mode and new online contests. Besides, deep down inside, I just need another excuse to dance like a crazy idiot in 2011. Number 8. Rage.
The wasteland.
Would you like to take Fallout and make it more vivid and colorful, and then mix it with some Borderlands and MotorStorm? Well then you've got yourself something close to what I expect Rage to be. The next game from fabled developer ID Software, Rage blatantly rips off the Fallout storyline with a falling asteroid instead of nuclear weapons. You emerge from a vault, ark, to see the Earth has been covered with mutants and different scavenger clans. But hell, at least in this one you get a car to race around the wasteland with, Road Warrior style. The game has shown some RPG elements, being able to upgrade your cars through winning races, an inventory system, and even weapon upgrades. There is said to be a major twist in the middle of the game which moves you away from fighting mutants to something else. Thank God, but they're keeping that under wraps. Only time will tell if this combination of all the best ideas in recent success stories will play the way ID is hoping. I've mostly ignored this one, but it's starting to creep onto my radar as of late with a release date of September 13th of this year. Number 7.
With LA Noire, Team Bondi and Rockstar Games set out to create a unique crime thriller that explores what it means to be a detective in Hollywood's golden age, one of the most glamorous and most violent periods in the city's history.
LAPD, could you stand clear of the body, please?
Inspired by real-world cases, players must solve crimes, plots, and conspiracies, all set within the meticulously recreated city of Los Angeles.
Holy balls! I love Rockstar. After taking a risk with a forgotten Western genre, Rockstar is taking an even bigger risk by delving into yet another incredibly cool premise, noir. With themes of crime, sex, and mystery, it could make for a really engaging and excellent story-driven experience. The game is most notable for its use of potentially revolutionary technologies, Lightspring's real-time global illumination, and depth analysis motion scan, where actors give real-life performances and facial expressions that are recorded by over 32 cameras from every angle. This will prove to be extremely helpful in this game particular as your detective tries to determine whether or not a subject is being truthful or they're hiding something. That is, unless they dumb it down and make it blatantly obvious which is what, and which I'm mainly worrying about as they try to show off what the technology can actually do. Game Informer has reported over 20 hours of voice acting, and in recent in-game trailers they have shown that the game has plenty of gunplay to go along with that. What remains to be seen is if the mainstream gaming public who foam at the mouths for the next Call of Duty will care enough to even sit through a game like this. And I've got a bad feeling they won't. I guess we'll all find out on May 17th, 2011.
If ever there was a time for extracting a confession, this was it!
Number 6.
Target data received.
Sword of the Stars 2. Oh hell yes! Intergalactic warfare, space combat, capital ships duking it out, exchanging beam weapon fire. This is my kind of game. I'm addicted to the 4X genre. That's explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. There's nothing like managing your empire across the stars, crushing all opposition in your way. Now, pickings have been slim in this genre since the utter failure of Masters of Orion 3. But the top two games holding the banner have been Stardock's Sins of a Solar Empire and Paradox's Sword of the Stars. Now, Sword of the Stars is still being played to this day, with its strength being players are still encountering random events all these years after its original release. New events are added in by the developer on a consistent basis. This is a game that never gets old, that's ever changing just like the great expanse of space. Events like slavers stealing your population to return as a full faction in an expansion, asteroid showers endangering your people that your fleet needs to eliminate before it crashes into your planets, and weird space entities. Truly, you get to see new and interesting things in space. It's not just a vanilla formula. In this sequel, graphics have been turned up to 10, matching the gameplay finally as the Lords of Winter invade. If you love space monsters and random events, in addition to the normal fleet combat and empire building, this is the game for you. I am giddy with anticipation for its release, and I have some exclusive information I can't share with you yet. Let's just say that you will never fight a faction like the Lords of Winter. Your new ship class, the massive Leviathans, so many times larger than the other ships in the game, will pale in comparison to the Lord's. Sorry. Number 5. Deus Ex 3. The game that won Spoonie and I's Best of Show for E3 2010 is scheduled to release this year. Deus Ex 3, with a storied pedigree in its previous innovative games. This will be where I am introduced to the series, and from what I've seen, it's as if you took Mass Effect and mixed it with some alternate universe edition of Alpha Protocol. You know, a version that was actually good in AAA. Then take the infinitely cool universe of Blade Runner and expand on it and allow you to roam free within it. That's what you've got with Deus Ex 3. The game features dynamic environment, context-sensitive combat, massive amounts of detail that eclipses anything out there right now. And multiple paths to complete your objectives will make this one a game to remember. Combine that with the one thing that Square Enix seems to do better than most, amazingly cinematic cutscenes, and you've got extreme potential to become another mega franchise. You definitely need to keep your eye out on this one for August 23rd, 2011.
Police have opened fire on the crowd.
You'll never find them!
I'll never stop looking.
It's not the end of the world, but you can see it from here.
Number 4. Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now I've got to admit, originally this game was much higher on my list, but it's dropped a few spaces lately. With the sort of lifeless, lackluster recent trailer, and a slow, please stop it crawl of similar media, The Old Republic is starting to seem, well, just old. I've actually played several hours of the game, and I felt like it plays it way too safe. This is World of Warcraft, period. While games like Rift, Terra, and especially Guild Wars 2 are making huge leaps and innovating in this stagnant MMO genre, BioWare is just content to copy and paste Blizzard's successful formula and skin it with Knights of the Old Republic flavor. Now that may have been fine when they started developing this game decades ago, but it's hard to get too excited about that now. In the game's defense, and its high ranking, it is, after all, BioWare, a company that has fully earned my trust and its place. And what lifts my spirits is while there might be that lame auto-attacking and standing out in the open firing over and over, there's also the fact that it's truly fully voiced with branching dialogue options. BioWare knows how to tell a story. Companion characters, unique crafting, the space combat minigame, and war zones all hope to bolster the experience by keeping it fresh. I'm not a big fan of the art style. I don't know why it is nobody ever blinks in the game, but I do love lightsabers and the whole world of Star Wars, just like everybody. BioWare and EA have dumped millions of dollars into the game, supposedly the most expensive development of all time. I just hope that it's going to be worth it. Number 3. Guild Wars 2. I've recently bathed in all the media there is out there for this game, watching playthroughs, listening to interviews, reading through the features on this game, and what's coming is going to be much different from the original Guild Wars. Something really unique in the MMO genre, with an amazing art direction, interactive combat that places importance on positioning as well as abilities, dynamic questing, and this game is looking to take the genre by storm. Extremely detailed environments, plus no goddamn subscription fee? This has to be a dream come true for me. Guild Wars 2 also takes a shot at Star Wars The Old Republic's claim to fame of its massive voice work. Well, Guild Wars 2 also has an insane amount of voice work too, making reading boring mission dialogues a thing of the past. It features over 60 feature films worth of voiceovers. And a lot must be said about what they're trying to do for making you feel like a hero. The first mission in Star Wars, go kill 10 evil cave rats as a Sith Lord. I know, I did it. The first mission in Guild Wars 2, well, it looks like this.
So this is another example of how we want the player to feel like they're a hero, how we want them to feel like they're doing important things right away. We don't want you to have to wait until you're max level before the game starts and before you start experiencing cool stuff. We want you to have epic fights like this right from the start.
And that, my friends, was just the tutorial. I cannot wait for Guild Wars 2. And did I mention it's free of subscription fees? Yeah, I think that's important. I have no idea how they're doing it. Number dos.
There won't be
Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3. I really don't need to say any more. I loved Mass Effect 2. I damn near gave it a perfect 10 out of 10 rating. It ended up 9 out of 10 because there were a few tweaks that could have been made to make it a perfect experience. I wonder what's hiding up their sleeve. Is there going to be a new game mode? Is there going to be some subtle changes, some improvements to the UI or the galaxy screen, making it more dynamic? How exactly is all of this gonna play out? Will all of the final storylines be wrapped up into one tight, neat package? BioWare has their work cut out for them, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us. And now, the number one top most anticipated game of 2011.
But there's one they fear. In their tongue, he is Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Morrowind and Oblivion are my two favorite RPGs of all time. No one does it like Bethesda. Dragons are in, baby, finally. And this isn't some bull crap where you whack dragons on their toes while they just stand there. No, this is real dragon warfare.
But there's one I fear.
Execute magical attacks against these beasts as you speak the magical words.
Dragonborn.
That is so cool, and it reminds me of something. Many people complained about the ugly character models in Oblivion. Fixed. Many people complained about the leveling up system. Fixed. The way the NPCs just stood there as the camera zoomed in as they talked. Fixed. Now these NPCs go about their business as you have a conversation with them. The world feels so much more alive and extremely detailed with breathtaking environments, which is amazing considering this is a fully open game. See it? Go there. Not any of this corridor bull that BioWare and Fable seems to attach to. The people will feel dynamic as you drop a sword in the streets, and later a young boy might tug on your arm and give it back to you, or throw some coin out in front of you and watch the chaos that ensues as people fight over the riches. Scrim is making some big promises, and if anyone can pull it off, it's Bethesda. November 11th, 2011. A date where people might report me missing for the following weeks. I can't wait!